Hello, everybody, and welcome into That Real Texas Team podcast. And this episode of Scouting with Curtis, we're going to be looking at the Titans and looking back at some of the things against the Jaguars that we need to get cleaned up. So buckle up, y'all. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff. But go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button. We're at 317 on this channel. I'd like to see that number keep climbing. Yeah, I mean, we're at the inverse of the Houston area code, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of sick, but regardless, obviously against the Jaguars, there were a lot of issues. Namely, CJ Stroud, the first pick he threw was on him 100%. He probably should have checked down on the second interception instead of waiting on something crazy deep to develop. Woody Marks was open in the flat, and we'll get all to that. But there were a lot of things to be corrected against the Jaguars, and I think the Titans could potentially be the right team to correct some of this stuff on. They don't have premier edge rushers. Obviously, Jeff Simmons is an otherworldly talent, and Trevondre Sweat is huge, literally a massive individual. So it's going to be a challenge for the interior of the offensive line. Laken Tomlinson and whoever, Ed Ingram, Jarrett Patterson, Jake Andrews, whoever's in is going to have to be otherworldly against these two. Juice had the best pass blocking numbers last week in his limited snaps in pass pro, but Laken Tomlinson was our best run blocker, and they rotated. So there's a lot of interesting shuffling that's going to happen. It does look like Titus is going to play, so we don't have to worry about a complete reshuffle. But let's go ahead and get into some of this film. Hold on. All right, so this is the first sack of CJ Stroud against the Jaguars. Now you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the line of scrimmage against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a tight end. So we've got 6. The numbers, and then you got the running back in the backfield. So we got 7. So you got 5 versus 7. All right, they switch the blitzing linebacker. Let me go back real quick. Looks like Devin Lloyd comes and Foye Sade-Lukin drops back, which adds confusion. So now we've still got 6 on 5, but the confusion of the dropping out is where a lot of the issues pull up. Now, if I'm CJ Stroud, I'm looking right at Dalton Schultz. I see Nico Collins, I believe, coming open kind of in the middle. Or is that Nico? And then it looks like you got Jalen Noel down here at the bottom. And Travis Hunter's not even looking at him. Looks like Jordan Lewis is down here in the flat. All right, you all saw that. So at this point, Jordan Lewis is going to keep creeping up the field. CJ is now looking all the way across the field at Dalton Schultz still. He's made it back down to Nico, but Jalen Noel is wide open. So not all the issues are CJ Stroud's or are the offensive line. Okay. Now, that being said, there are clearly instances where the offensive line is the problem, but that play was not one of them. That is on CJ for staring down a receiver. It's on him for not looking at the entire field. I mean, he throws that to Noel, we're looking at least a first down. Okay. Let's see here. Hmm. And then this game was a game where most of the game didn't feel like either team really wanted to win. Just kind of a low effort thing. But yeah, okay. All right, here is the first interception of CJ Stroud. Jordan Lewis on the interception. Give me just a second, I'll get it pulled up for you. All right. First interception of CJ Stroud. So we're in, it looks like cover three. You get a creep in safety. It means both your outside corners are dropping deep. Safety's going to cover up somewhere in the shallow middle of the field. And then this one's just going to drop way the hell off. It looks like exactly what's happening. And CJ just can't get the ball over Jordan Lewis. Let's back it up. All right, so at this point, Stroud's looking. It's 3-on-3 with the safety in the middle of the field. Nico's got really two people on him, but he's thinking Jordan Lewis, who's literally locked eyes with CJ Stroud. He's thinking Jordan Lewis is going to stay on Dalton Schultz, and instead does not. He drifts back and reads Christian Kirk's route perfectly, and CJ just doesn't expect that. 100% on CJ on that one. I don't think anybody ran the wrong route there. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I can tell you right now. I mean, maybe the concept is just weak, but regardless, that's on CJ. There we go. There are like ways to clean that up. There's tons of different things that you can do, and mostly all you got to do is just play smart football. Here's a sack of CJ. They're one of two. We saw the other one. I'm about to pull it up for you. I'm just waiting on everything to load. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So we're looking at cover high or cover two, which is something that CJ said that they've seen a lot of this year because it takes away, generally speaking, things over the top. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the line of scrimmage. Sends Hutch in motion. All right. At this point, Kirk is open. Get the ball out of your hands. Um, he's looking on the outside, I believe, down here, but Kirk is open. You're probably able to pick up a few yards right here if you're just able to get it out fast enough. But again, I'm pretty sure he's based on the way his head is looking. I think he's looking at this guy and not. I mean, maybe he's looking at Kirk, but at this point in the play, Josh Allen is running free. The left guard is struggling to pick up the stunt here, and then the center is is getting worked right now by the other part of the stunt. Just a complete failure from the center to the left tackle. Josh Allen gets there, and the 3-on-2 situation on the right side of the offensive line did not work. So again, not a great play. CJ's got to make a quicker read. He's got to get his team in a better situation. It's not always his fault. I'm not trying to say it is, but there are situations where, okay, if we did just a little differently here, we're probably looking at a much different situation. Um, all right, try. Let's try to look at something positive here. Something we can do. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the 50-yard touchdown to Nico Collins here, and we're gonna look at what exactly is being brought to the equation. All right, again, cover two. You got Nico at the top, got Kirk in the slot, and Hutch on the outside at the bottom. Um, let's see how everything kind of progresses with the four-man rush here. Little chip block by Dalton Schultz helps out Ursary a lot. Looks like whoever the running back is, Woody Marks, he's kind of coming open underneath. Now you look at Nico, he's got a double move on, and I think it's Murray who bites hard on the underneath route, leaving Nico Collins wide open down the sideline to where he just walks into the end zone. So, I mean, a good play. You've got CJ making a quick decision, reading the defense well. It's not that he can't do these things. I think sometimes he gets, I don't know, a little yippish, if you know what I mean. And that kind of um, messes with his ability to play quarterback efficiently. Let's put it that way. We're going to shift gears, and we're going to look at some of the things against in the Titans Colts game that we might be able to take away from the Titans. Um, All right. So we got a touchdown here to Alec Manor. It's late in the fourth. Titans are down big in the red zone. This is a place where the Houston offense has struggled a lot. Let's go ahead and pause this. All right. So we got Cam Ward in the shotgun. He sees two high safeties. Like, it looks like they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the box, or 5 at the line of scrimmage, 6 in the box, against 5 linemen and a tight end with a running back staying in. So numbers should be pretty well taken care of. Let's see how well Cam reads the field. Sends Ridley in motion. All right, pocket is holding at the moment. He's got room to step up if he needs to. I think this is Manor up here at the top. Ridley is working towards the middle T and Titans. Cam is looking right at Calvin at the moment. And look, I'm gonna back this up just a hair. All right. Iron Manor finds this easy, quick zone, soft area in the zone defense and just sits. And Cam delivers an absolute laser. Now, this is against a defense that had already given him a pick six, so he knew he had to put a little touch on, a little zoom on that one, okay? A little heat. But yeah, I mean, Iron Manor and Cam Ward are the most efficient connection in Tennessee. I mean, we know that Calvin Ridley um, is the target that Cam wants to get them going. It's just not been able to happen this week. Let's take a look at a negative for the Titans. We're going to look at the 46-yard touchdown from Jonathan Taylor. Let's see. The Titans, like I mentioned, they're strong on the defensive interior. So, like, the fact that this keeps happening is kind of a weakness on the linebackers. But here we go. Immediately, the defensive line is holding serve. They're not creating a lot of pressure or blowing up the play by any means. But you've got a fullback coming to meet this linebacker in the hole. This linebacker, just outside the hash marks, is not moving. And I don't understand what kind of position coach is just asking them to not move. Now, I understand maybe, okay, don't buy in all the time. It could be a play action. But at the same time, you've got to be ready to move. This man is just camped. As I said, the fullback comes, takes out the linebacker. By this point, the other linebacker has Quentin Nelson coming and closing off the backside angle. And then you got Jonathan Taylor one on one with the other safety not named Amani Hooker. And then Jonathan Taylor just does Jonathan Taylor things. The tackling in Tennessee, at least on that play, was atrocious. L'Jarius Sneed is is playing decent football, and he thinks he's hot shit right now. And watch him just get thrown to the ground, miss the tackle completely. I don't even know if he actually touched Jonathan, but this Titans team thinks highly of themselves, even though they're not doing well. And something to keep in mind as a Texans fan this weekend, they will be having for the first time new um, a new play caller. Let's take a look. This was Cam Ward's first interception, and it turned out pretty poorly for him. Okay. All right. We're gonna pause on that for a second. Seems the page is unresponsive. So yay for that. We're gonna come back to that momentarily, y'all. But the Titans are fallible. They don't. There's not a situation here where the the Titans are an insurmountable task. Titans are not good. They are not a good team right now. I think there's a major difference between what the Titans are putting on the field and what the Texans are bringing. The Texans are, without a doubt, a more competitive team. And it's really not even close. Okay. All right. So here we are. This is Cam Ward's first career interception. Why are we doing this? Okay. Wait for the thing to do a thing. All right. So Cam is looking, scanning across the field. There is a wide receiver open right here. I don't know what he's looking at here. It should be either of these two guys on the inside, but he is not giving them much attention. The pocket is collapsing around him, and I think he feels that and feels like he's just got to get rid of it. We're going to watch this back. We're going to watch this back. No. We're still going sideline. Quit messing with my emotions. All right. They've got 3 on the line. They shifted up a little bit. They've got 3 linebackers. Looks like 2 of them are coming. One of the defensive linemen drops out, so it's just a 4-man rush. But even still, they get pressure on him, and it's just not pretty. Cam Ward is a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. 100%. The defense for the Texans has been the saving grace thus far. So I yeah, there's just a lot of opportunity for the Texans to be able to get back to where they should be. This shouldn't be a game where we're wondering, um, you know, what are we going to do? It should be pretty simple. The goal is to run the ball. The goal is to get CJ Stroud going. The goal is to get things moving in the right direction. I think it's possible that the offensive line has probably one of its better games this week. I think that it's possible that the center guard triangle could be the bane of our existence, but I don't think we're going to have the edge issues. The stunting and CJ Stroud picking up the blitz packages is going to be the biggest thing. The Titans can do some things. Okay. I mean, again, Cam Ward and Alec Aymaner have had a pretty solid connection and think he's leading the team in touchdowns right now. Calvin Ridley is dropping everything. It is not efficient football happening right now. I want everybody to understand that this is not going to be an easy game. It's a division game. We usually struggle against the Titans. Hell, the Titans beat us last year, and I would think most people would agree we were the better team then, and we were a better team than we are today. At least, in some respects. Our saving grace, again, will be our defense. Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter with J.C. Latham out, Kevin Zeitler, their veteran left guard that they brought in or right guard, I apologize, that they brought in to solidify the right guard spot and protect Cam. He's limited in practice. He did not play last week. They might just not risk it and let him come back next week. but I imagine that they're really trying to let Cam develop with the best possible, linemen out there. Um, we will we will be seeing Will Anderson eat. He's going to go all the way, all over Dan Moore and whoever they're putting at right tackle with J.C. Latham, potentially not playing for the third straight game. So that's how we end up winning. Now, Derek Stingley has not practiced this week. I don't expect him to play this weekend. If he does, that'd be great. But I think they're more worried about what Baltimore is going to give them, because that's our next game after this. And we've got to get something going, have some freckle of momentum to actually be able to give those fucking Baltimore Raven shitty birds something to worry about. Because otherwise, it's going to be a problem. Now, that's not me trying to look past the Titans. I know we've got a challenge ahead of ourselves, but if we can get Nick Chubb and Woody Marks, a good 4 yards a carry, and we don't completely abandon the run when it's working, I think we'll have an opportunity to actually make a pretty good dent into this Titans defense. It's not a good defense. They have good players. I mean, even last year when we lost to them in Houston, which is where this game will be again, and for whatever reason, the away team always wins in this series. I don't understand it. It's very rare that we sweep the Titans, but if we win against the Titans, it's usually in Nashville. I don't know why, but I don't think we're going to end up 0-4, even with the fact that they're adding a new play caller. The quarterback coach, Bo Hardigree, will be calling plays for the first time this season, as Brian Callahan is now going to be focusing specifically on game management just to see if he can even be a head coach in this league. I am not worried about Brian Callahan at all. Now, Bo Hardigree, because he's going to be running Brian Callahan's offense, I think he'll probably be pretty good, because I feel, he's not a rookie play caller. Brian Callahan's rookie year as a play caller last year did not go well. And that's part of the reason that Will Levis was never going to be tabbed as the starter this season. That's why they got Cam Ward, because, they had to have a scapegoat. I think there's a world where the Texans beat the Titans and Brian Callahan gets fired afterward, in which case, great for us. We got to stop Tony Pollard, and we got to focus up on a bunch of different guys. We got to focus up on Aya Manor and Calvin Ridley. And if there's no Stingley, that means Kamari Laster and Miles Bryant and a couple other fellows are going to be asked to do a lot more, because now there's no C.J. Gardner-Johnson either. Not that he was actually capable of helping us a lot, but the fact that he's not there, and we're still waiting on Jalen Reed to come back from injury. We're waiting on Jimmy Ward to get taken off a list so that he can rejoin the team. We're going to be seeing a lot of interesting stuff in the safety department. We're going to probably see a little bit more of efficient defense. I think they'll be able to stop the run pretty well. We're going to see. This could be a very interesting game, and I expect a close game. If I had a gun to my head, give a prediction right now, it'd probably be I think we win. I think it's 27-13. I think the defense, again, just does what it does, which is hold people under 17 points most of the time. We just got to have an offense that can complement. We got to have an offense that is going to not make the defense win the game for us. this week is that perfect week to get that going. That being said, I'm going to wrap this up here. Go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button. Be good people. Go Texans.